They will, the elementary and high school will start on Saturday, and the graduate school and college as well, they start this week. So it's still
a stressful time.
Stressful time, yes.
Since it's a stressful time, Dr. Nasser, how can we as parents help our children to relax more so that they can revise, but without feeling pressured or without feeling stressful? Because sometimes children during this period, they get headaches, they can't sleep because of the extended stress that they have.
Yes, true. They define it as exam anxiety. This is like a kind of problem that face some students in the college mainly, and in the high school as well. It's also associated with the anxiety in general. There's like general anxiety. So people who have general anxiety tend to have more exam anxiety during finals or midterms exams.
Absolutely.
And the problem is that some people do not recognize that they have problem. Parents do not recognize their kids do have this problem, so that they deal with them as normal people, and this will make it worse than it be. For example, next week the exam comes and you find your kids don't sleep well, they have irritation, they have headaches, they have stomach, they psychologically and emotionally are not stable, and the parents unfortunately push him, close the doors, you have to take your exam, you have to study, and the student, you know, there's differentiation between the kids. You have 5 kids at school, at home, and there is 3 are okay, but 2 need special care.
Everyone's different.
So the message today is there is special care for people who have exam anxiety, and this is what we define it as: people who have anxiety during the exam, and it's beyond the general anxiety and normal. And anxiety is good for people to motivate them to study and to do their homework and to know their schedule and to you know, push hard on their time. But unfortunately, when it's extend beyond its normal, this is what makes it the problem.
That's very true. And I think, sir, you said that, of course, exam time for anybody, it's a very stressful time, whether you've studied or whether you have not studied. And I think that parents do not understand the pressure they put on their child, especially when parents are pressuring the child to get good marks or good grades, for example. And children, of course, want to please their parents, but this adds more anxiety, more pressure. So what steps should parents follow in order to, let's say, back off or back away a little bit from their children?
Sure. First, you have to differentiate between kids. There is kids with you know, normal life, and that's kids who need special care during the exam days. Also, you know, everybody knows his, you know, brother and sister. There's the people who have all the time high grades, and the people just between normal and high. And this is like, you know, natural in our life. The problem, that's when you make those people who have a problem. For example, we have also the math problems, we have reading problem, we have spelling problem. So this is kind of recognize your problems. First, you have to know your child. Second, you have to put a schedule for those people so that we can make them a group so that they encourage each other during the exam days. And also schedule your days. For example, in the morning they study, and then they have break until 2, then they have watch TV for 1 hour, then they have to study from 3 to 6, then they have break until 8, and they have to sleep early. This is very important. The problem that's most of the parents or people during the exam, they try to wake up all the night. And this is what makes it worse. When they go to the exam time, they have, you know, the problem with recognizing the sentence, you know, trying to retrieve their knowledge, the information, and this is really hard on parents.
And Dr. Nasser, many students also go for the power drinks to keep them awake all night. Some of the, without mentioning the names, but the power drinks that you drink to keep you up and to give you energy and to. I mean, this can't be good for the child.
Of course, I'm not a physician to comment on this, but I'm sure there is problems associated with this. Not only this, there's like drugs associated with this, but will not go beyond those you know, drugs. But also there is people who try wake themselves up in order to study, and this is, by the way, a sign of people who have exam anxiety. They cannot sleep well, and when they sleep they just come with nightmares and think about the exam, and they wake up. Sometimes they wake up in the evening and they think it's still morning.
So this is taking things all to another level.
Exactly.
True. But what about parents, Dr. Nasser? How can parents actually create the right settings or the right right ambience at home so that the child can actually revise, so the child can revise in a relaxed environment? Because some parents would still go away with their social events, inviting people over and carry things through normally. Other parents will be more considerate. How do we actually get this balance at home?
The problem, some parents take it too much because they think the child, when they make a high grade, this is making on themselves. Like individualism plays their games there. I don't want to make my child to fail because other parents will think to me as bad parents. And really, this is the problem. Sometimes you make a pressure on your kids in order to satisfy yourself, not your kids. And this is need to be taken care by the parents. So kids, it doesn't mean you have high grade, that means you are smart or you will be successful in your life. It doesn't match sometimes, but also people who have more high grades usually tend to be good in their life and make themselves in this life. But as I said before, you know your child, make a schedule for the exam days. Do not invite, we call it postpone your schedule. Either parents as male, as husband, as wife. You have to postpone all your schedules, all your appointments during these 2 weeks. Also, the male in our, by the way, in our society, need to take care of some part of the household, because some child need to be taken care by his mother because she's smart and she's know about math or physics, so that she could help the child or the more than the male. The problem is some people make phone calls and watch TV during the Asia Games now. They just post. Kids cannot wait until they watch the game because the stress exam is make the people just watch anything.
So Dr. Nasser, we should expect to see the men in the kitchen nowadays with the exam.
Not too much. Not I think they can help.
I think you're protecting yourself, right?
Take the small kids to the park, to their neighbors, so that they have time for the older kids. When alhamdulillah, the male people in our society try to tend to be more helpful during the exam, during their wife exam. But it's not all the time. Sometimes the wife also need to be taken care by her husband because he's doing final exam, and she wants to take care of the kids so that they don't make a noise and their father. But this is really a problem during those exams, which is the exam anxiety, and some people cannot wait, and they need to be seen by psychiatrists or psychologists so that they make them less stressful, so that they can add more in the exam. And the problem all the time, it goes to the p-value and Albert Ellis diagrams. It's A, B, C. The problem is the B. That's mean I'm stressful because I cannot do well,
average,
I will be failed, people will look bad to me because I'm not a good student. My partners in the class will be ashamed of me, and all this stuff. This comes to the people mind, so that what the people help them, psychologists and social workers, clinical social worker, can sit with them and try to give them feedback, try to change their attitude, try to change their emotional, try to change their view of what the exams is. And this is what we do in the Imam University. We have a support people who help us, students who cannot, deal with their problems, which is the exam and anxiety.
That's very good. And I think also parents should also talk with their children to let them know that they trust that children is doing their very best, and that if they don't do their best, they should try even harder next time. But of course, Dr. Nasser, thank you so much for joining us very quickly on this very interesting topic about anxiety and exams, because I'm sure all over the kingdom students are very anxiously studying and of course are getting ready for the exams. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much, and I hope inshallah a pleasant day for everybody. Just go walk and have your lunch at outdoors and back to the exam by the evening, and everybody inshallah wish good exams and for good finals, and everybody will retain the grades that they want.
Inshallah, I really hope so. Well, you guys, as Dr. Nasser said, very important, you guys eat right, sleep right, study very well, and don't add a lot of pressures to yourself. And of course, keep away all kind of distractions, whether they're video games or cell phones or let's say iPods and whatever they may be. Keep away all distractions, and hopefully, inshallah, everyone would ace their exams. Nevertheless, we'll leave you with our weekend. Today, we're going to go look at the Ragadan Forest in Al-Baha district. When we come back, you guys, since today is Wednesday, dessert, something very sweet is cooking in our kitchen. Stay tuned.